Unfortunately, the requested Atlanta newspaper article was not provided. Without the article, it is impossible to analyze its content, historical significance, or relevance to Lineage research. Providing the article, or a link to the article, is necessary for a thorough response. Once the article is provided, a detailed examination can be conducted. This analysis could potentially include identifying key individuals mentioned in the article, tracing their connections to relevant historical events, and exploring any genealogical information presented. The article's publication date, the newspaper's historical context, and the article's intended audience could also be investigated. Moreover, the writing style, the factual accuracy, and the potential biases of the article could be assessed. Further, the article could be compared to other contemporary sources to gain a more comprehensive understanding of the historical context. The research process would involve several steps. Firstly, careful reading of the article to identify key details. Secondly, cross-referencing information with other historical sources. Thirdly, analyzing the language and tone of the article to understand its perspective. Fourthly, assessing the reliability of the information presented. Fifthly, synthesizing the findings into a coherent narrative. The information gleaned from the article could be used to trace family lineages, understand historical events, or gain insights into cultural trends. The research process might involve using genealogical databases, historical archives, and academic publications. Analyzing primary sources such as newspaper articles can provide valuable insights into the past, offering a glimpse into the lives, events, and perspectives of people from a different era. Newspaper articles often reflect the social, political, and economic climate of their time, providing a rich context for understanding historical events. The language used in the article, the topics covered, and the opinions expressed can all reveal important information about the culture and values of the period. In addition to providing historical context, newspaper articles can also serve as a valuable resource for genealogical research. They may contain birth announcements, marriage notices, obituaries, and other information that can help trace family lineages. Information from newspaper articles should always be corroborated with other sources to ensure accuracy. Genealogical research involves several steps. Firstly, gathering information from family records such as birth certificates, marriage licenses, and death certificates. Secondly, searching historical archives for census records, land deeds, and other documents. Thirdly, utilizing online genealogical databases to find information about ancestors. Fourthly, analyzing the collected information to identify family relationships and trace lineages. Fifthly, documenting the findings in a clear and organized manner. Careful analysis of the Atlanta newspaper article could yield valuable insights into family history, historical events, or cultural trends. The analysis could begin with identifying the main subject of the article, then identifying the key individuals mentioned. Afterwards, identifying the dates and locations associated with the events. Following that, identifying the historical context of the article. And finally, identifying any potential biases or perspectives presented in the article. The information could be organized into a timeline or a family tree. The timeline would show the sequence of events described in the article. The family tree would illustrate the relationships between the individuals mentioned. Genealogical research requires patience, persistence, and attention to detail. It is important to be thorough in gathering information and careful in analyzing the data. The research process can be challenging, but it can also be rewarding, providing a deeper understanding of family history and the past. Analyzing primary source documents like newspaper articles is an important skill for historians and genealogists. Primary sources provide first-hand accounts of events, offering unique insights into the past. It is important to critically evaluate primary sources, considering the author's perspective, the intended audience, and the historical context. By carefully analyzing primary sources, we can gain a more nuanced understanding of history. When analyzing a newspaper article, consider the following factors. Firstly, the source of the article, such as the name of the newspaper and its political affiliation. Secondly, the author of the article, such as their credentials and potential biases. Thirdly, the date of publication, such as the historical context of the article. Fourthly, the intended audience, such as the demographics and interests of the readers. Fifthly, the purpose of the article, such as to inform, persuade, or entertain. The information gleaned from the newspaper article can be used to create a narrative about the past. The narrative should be based on evidence and should be presented in a clear and concise manner. It is important to avoid making assumptions or drawing conclusions without sufficient evidence. The narrative can be used to educate others about history. The narrative can be shared with family members, friends, and colleagues. Historical research is a collaborative process. It is important to share information and insights with others. Collaboration can lead to new discoveries and a deeper understanding of the past. Online forums, historical societies, and genealogical organizations can provide opportunities for collaboration. Engaging with others who are interested in history can be a rewarding experience. The Atlanta newspaper article, once provided, will undergo thorough scrutiny to extract relevant information. The information gleaned could potentially shed light on various aspects of history. Analyzing the content, style, and context of the article is essential to derive meaningful insights. The absence of the article prevents a comprehensive assessment. Once the article is available, a detailed analysis will commence. The analysis may involve identifying key themes, individuals, and events. The information extracted could be used to construct a historical narrative. The narrative should be supported by evidence from the article. The article could also be compared with other historical sources. This comparison could help to verify the accuracy of the information. The analysis will aim to provide a comprehensive understanding of the article. The analysis will also consider the potential biases of the article. Identifying biases is important for interpreting the information accurately. The research will involve a combination of qualitative and quantitative methods. Qualitative methods will be used to analyze the text of the article. Quantitative methods may be used to analyze data related to the article. The research will adhere to ethical principles. The privacy of individuals will be protected. The information will be used responsibly. The goal is to provide a valuable contribution to historical knowledge. The process will be rigorous and thorough. The results will be presented in a clear and accessible manner. The analysis will be conducted with objectivity and impartiality. The research will be guided by scholarly standards. The absence of the article prevents the commencement of the research. The research will begin as soon as the article is provided. The research will be conducted in a timely manner. The findings will be disseminated widely. The research will be of high quality. The research will be valuable to historians, genealogists, and others interested in the past. The analysis will be comprehensive and insightful. The research will be a valuable contribution to the field of history. The research will be a valuable resource for those interested in learning more about the past.